Welcome to your Monday morning espresso shot. Let us begin with the heart focused breathing, and let us place our awareness in the area of our hearts and take slow, deep breaths. Let's visualize these breaths flowing in and out of your heart, and just these 2 steps. Breathe a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Slow, deep breaths. And all the while, placing awareness in the area of the heart. Slow, deep breaths. For this next 5 minutes, make it all about you. Make it all about you. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Beautiful. Make these breaths very flowing, smooth. Notice if you're breathing laboriously. If you are, be gentle on yourself. This is all about nurturing, all about self-healing. And so when you take these slow, deep breaths, it is allowing your body to relax, to produce anti-aging, rejuvenating, healing enzymes and hormones. Isn't that what we all want? Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, gentler than you normally would. Slow, deep breaths. Placing awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Are you taking the deep breaths in, as deep as you can, without it being too uncomfortable? Are you taking your time exhaling? Fill the lungs up as much as you can without it being too uncomfortable. Very nice. You may continue this breathing technique as we move on to the next phase of our program. For the next 5 minutes, we will talk about the I didn't know that moment. Today, our topic is your bad day is only an illusion. Let me give you an example of what happened to one of my clients. She was having a very rough day, and I was meeting her that evening after her work. Now, she owns a business. In her business, there are several contractors, several staff members, and she is growing her business, so she's now building, she's going to a new building, and she's expanding. So you can understand the stresses that any human being faces when they're moving, whether you're moving a business or whether you're moving from a home to a home, or moving from a geographic location to another geographic location. So you can just imagine the kind of stresses she's feeling on top of managing staff. So if you do not own a business, you can relate to this by knowing how difficult it is to move from one place to another, while having children, while juggling spouses, while juggling friends and neighbors. So you can relate to that, I'm sure. Now, what was happening in this case is on that day, she said that every staff member was negative about the move. They were really finding faults in all the things that she was trying to set up so she could make a smooth transition. Now, that evening, when I spoke with her, she was in tears. She was ready to sell her business. So, in the conversation with her, I took her through a coherence building technique, a more advanced form, and a bit more of a systematic coaching style. One of the components was the breathing technique that we're going to experience in a few minutes. And so through that process, she began to alleviate some of her fear. And when she alleviated some of her fear, she began to think more clearly. She began to feel more positive about her business. And the very next day, when she went, she sent me a text within an hour of her being at work and saying, everybody's being so nice to me. Everybody's feeling so positive. Everybody is looking forward to this. So I ask you this question, given that story, that was this the situation the night before, the evening before, but because this person, the business owner, was seeing things in a very fear-based way, that she perceived things that way. And all she needed to do was to change from within in order to see the positive in everybody. And that is really the lesson that I learned very quickly, is that when you're having a bad day, it's only an illusion, and that bad day is only within you. There is no bad day outside of you, and if there was, nothing you can control anyways. So what do you need to do in order for you to transform a bad day into an amazing day? Simply dive in, experience regenerative emotions, positive feelings, bring the optimism out, and you can do that through the techniques we've talked about here. And the techniques we're talking about here, for 15 minutes a day, you can actually achieve this positive, beautiful feeling inside of you. Some of us need a little bit more time, some of us need more advanced techniques, but if you are able to just do these for 15 minutes a day, you will at least walk in that towards that path, bring yourself closer to having an amazing day. So that is really my lesson for today. I'd love to hear your feedback after we do the next practice. But remember, when you're having a bad day, think of this is only an illusion, and the illusion is only within you, because the world outside is actually unraveling or unfolding based on your own perception of what that is and how you're feeling inside. It's a filter that you're using. So change the sunglasses, put a different pair of sunglasses on, and you will see a happier, more passionate place. All right? Excellent. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear that after in the Q&A section. All right, beautiful. Then let us now enter into the next phase of our program, and that is the quick coherence technique. Here, we will just add one more step to it, and that step is to experience a positive feeling. This is where you begin to shift from within, and then you will see the world differently. So let us do this, and let us practice this for 5 minutes. And if you can practice this for 15 minutes a day, you will see a measurable difference in your life. So let us place our awareness in the area of the heart. Take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. That's it. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize them flowing in and out of your heart. And now begin to experience a regenerative emotion such as care, compassion, gratitude, appreciation. Bring forward a memory, or visualize yourself, or experience yourself, or think about a situation where you receive these amazing emotions. And now draw that into your heart as you take these slow, deep breaths. And you visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, all the while experiencing care, compassion, gratitude, appreciation, joy. What would you feel? How would it feel if you had your most desirable outcome in life? How would you feel? Now experience that right now. Experience the joy of you achieving the desires of your life. Just experience it now. Let us put a gentle smile on our face. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of our hearts. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And experience a regenerative emotion, an emotion that gives you joy, that fills your heart with compassion, gratitude, appreciation. For me, this is spending time with my daughters. It always gives me joy. For you, it may be playing with your pets or your grandchildren or your loved ones. Being out in nature is another way for you to experience joy. Many, many ways of experiencing joy. Reach for one and experience it now. Experience it right now. So thank you. Thank you for participating this morning. Thank you for lending your energy to serve us and those who will listen to this after. and I would love to hear any comments you may have, any thoughts you may have about today's topic, or about anything we've talked about before, or anything you would like me to explore in the next few segments. So if there are questions, please do provide us your comments on the chat. And if there are none, then we can certainly close this chapter off and wait for next week. All right? So I'm not seeing anything coming through. And so I will say thank you very much for joining me today. I enjoyed your participation, and I look forward to seeing you next week.